Talking about freezing food now. There's some rules here when it comes to freezing food, from berries to beef.
Yes.
What freezes well, what doesn't? How do you manage those icy depths? Well, we asked some experts about this. Is there a broad rule when choosing what not to freeze? Freezing apparently produces structurally damaging ice crystals. Slow freezing produces bigger crystals. Therefore, drier ingredients freeze best. Peas thrive at 18 degrees below 0 Celsius, while berry fruits turn to mush when they defrost. If you're making jam, that's fine. But if you're freezing it, it'll ruin your less flexible foods.
But I will tell you, one of my favorite snacks is a frozen berry. It's literally like a little popsicle. I'm not breaking it down, letting it thaw to make it into something else. By the way, that also works out really, really well if you're making strawberry shortcake, because you mash the strawberries anyways. Just, little food for thought, pun intended.
When it comes to freezing prime cuts of beef, they say even high-grade, dry-aged beef, like the cheaper watery steaks, the muscle fibers get stretched when it thaws and defrosts. Water comes out and the steak's juiciness becomes insipid. You've broken the steak's body, so probably not freezing steak.
It's doable, but it's 100% better fresh. So it's one of those, if you buy it today to grill today or tomorrow, that's your best bet. Not that you can't do it, but...
How do you protect food from freezer burn? They say place food in a reusable silicone pouch or heavy plastic food bag. Push as much air out as you can and then seal it up. Freeze each laid pack flat at first to minimize ice crystals.
And you see a lot of those freezer bags, the ones that you could seal, and it actually, you'll see them in some of the grocery stores too, where it almost is like an airtight vacuum bag around it.
They say portion foods to identifiable user-friendly quantities. Don't freeze berries, sausages, or meatballs in blocks. Put dates on them when you put them in the freezer.
Yes.
And they say what should you freeze? Defrosted boiled eggs and raw potatoes are grim.
I would never try that because both of them are so grainy and textural to begin with.
The egg yolks go rubbery when defrosted.
Yeah.
They say if you want to do that, you can, but whisk them slightly and add a stabilizer, as in salt or sugar, depending on what you're going to be doing with them.
To make them into something else, I would think.
Can you freeze milk and cheese? Milk, certainly. Cheese, complicated because the moisture and fat splits.
Yeah, it has the oils in there.
It has a weird texture.
And it's going to kind of snap. Yeah, not good.
Now, when it comes to fish, normally fresh fish is flash frozen for most stores, which means you can't freeze it at home without cooking it first. They say don't ever, refreeze defrosted food.
Buy it already frozen.
Yes.
It's not don't buy frozen fish. It's don't buy a fish from the store typically and then bring it home and freeze it, because you're actually refreezing it. So that's the moisture, the texture, the content.
Don't.
It's no bueno.
Don't get frozen fish, defrost it, and then freeze the rest of it. That it makes it bad. More info on freezing food and what to do and what not to do and everything else right now. Yes FM Facebook, Twitter at 967 Yes FM, and the Emergency Morning page at yesfm.com.